And to find out more about how to become an organ donor and a little more on the issue, let's head over to Jeannie.
It's so important, actually, for everybody to register to be an organ donor. In fact, Pali and I were discussing it, and we're both going to sign up. So despite an increasing waiting list for solid organs, the number of transplants annually remains really low in South Africa. In light of this plight, the Organ Donor Foundation implements education and publicity programs that is designed to raise awareness for organ and tissue donation. We have Samantha Nichols, the Executive Director of the Organ Donor Foundation of South Africa, to tell us more about the importance of organ donation, as well as everything you need to know about it. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, what is the difference between organ donation and tissue donation?
So an organ and tissue donor, basically the difference is that solid organs are your heart, your lungs, your liver, your kidneys, and your pancreas. Tissue is corneas, skin, bone, and heart valves.
Can you donate skin?
Absolutely.
Oh, for skin grafts and stuff
yes,
like that.
That's
okay,
right.
That makes sense.
Yes, so that's the difference. You can save the lives of 7 people by being an organ donor, and you can improve the quality of life of up to 50 people by being a tissue donor.
That is incredible. How dire is the need for organs in South Africa at the moment? What are the stats sitting at?
If I could just explain something very simple. At a hospital, some state hospitals, they're turning away 80% of patients who need dialysis treatment because there aren't enough facilities. Those patients are sent home to die. Never mind the patients who are on the actual waiting list who need transplants. So
that's crazy.
And I've literally witnessed through my colleague whose son was at Red Cross Children's Hospital, children dying because they don't receive transplants in time. So it really is a desperate need for people to become organ donors.
Okay, so now we know of the need, but how can it be fixed? Like, who becomes organ donors? Do you become a donor in death, or do you donate when you're alive? How does it work?
So you can be a donor while you're alive. So you can be a kidney donor while you're alive. But generally, organ donation is when you pass away one day. It needs to be someone who has, for instance, been in a car accident, who is on a ventilator in a hospital and has been diagnosed brain dead by 2 doctors. So that's the one scenario. But remember, tissue can also be used after you have died. Even up to 72 hours after death, you can donate bone.
Yeah.
So people need to remember there's organ and tissue donation, and it's very important that family members have the discussion about it.
Sure. I know in Spain it's law that you have to become an organ donor. Why is it so rare for people to volunteer their dead bodies to donate?
Well, a lot of reasons, obviously fears, misconceptions. You know, we watch movies that are sensationalized where there's organ trafficking. So people have a lot of fears around the subject. Also, it goes back to thinking about your own death. And a lot of people don't like to do that when it comes to life policies and things. It's the sort of subject that is very taboo. So people need to realize that organ donation is life-giving. It saves so many lives, children and adults. It really, I met someone recently that has had a liver transplant for 25 years. And he's working and living a normal life. So it really does change lives.
And, I mean, can anybody get anybody's organs? Like, for example, if I had to die and donate my organs, would I be able to help children? Or do you have to be in the same age bracket?
No, some organs. So, for instance, a kidney, you'd be able to, but not heart, because you need to be the same height and weight as the person who receives it. So it varies. It also depends on matches. So blood type, tissue type, you know, to be compatible for the best success rates.
Okay, what are some of the fears and the myths about organ donating that a lot of people kind of get freaked out about, that we can clear on the show now so that everybody goes and donates their organs?
Yes. So I think one of the greatest fears is doctors will let me die. And I think the team of doctors in the trauma unit in ICU that would help a patient to save their life is their first priority. The team of surgeons and doctors that are called in for transplantation is a completely separate team. So doctors will do everything to save your life. That is their first priority. Often doctors...
That makes sense to me.
So that, I think, is the one fear. Some people feel that their bodies will be disfigured. So the utmost dignity and respect, you know, for all organ donors and tissue donors. It's like a normal... I actually was very privileged to watch them remove organs from a donor in a hospital.
Oh, wow.
And that was life-changing because I saw it happening. It was like an open heart surgery.
Can I go with you?
Yes, absolutely. So it was amazing. And I watched them implant the organs. And I think once you see that, you see what the doctors do and how they respect the body. So you can have a normal open casket if you choose to do so. If you remove skin, it's from the back of the arms or buttocks, a thin layer, as thin as a sunburn peel. So the body is not disfigured in any way. I think those are possibly the 2 biggest fears.
Well, I would really like to become an organ donor. Does it include bone marrow?
Bone marrow is separate just because you do it while you're alive.
Yeah.
So you've got the Sunflower Fund and the South African Bone Marrow Registry who obviously advocate that.
So I would like to become an organ donor.
Yes.
How do I do it? What is the process?
You literally go to our website. It's odf.org.za. You fill in a form. Quick. It literally takes probably 2 minutes of your time. There's no cost. There's no tests. Everything is done at the time of your death.
Okay.
That's all you need to do. And then a very important step, discuss it with your family. Your family need to know because they need to give consent at the time of your death.
Okay, fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for clearing that with us.
Pleasure.
I really hope that we've inspired the rest of the country as well to go and register to become an organ donor. We've got all of the information on our website for you.
Well, I, for one, am certainly inspired to donate my organs when the time comes, and I hope you are too at home.